Hey everybody, welcome back for Proverbs 31, verses 10 through 31. The section about the Proverbs 31 woman. You may have heard of her, you may have met her. But anyway, so that's what we're talking about today. Like I've said the last couple of days, this will probably be my last installment, at least for a while. So I appreciate those that have been here from the beginning, or from the beginning of Proverbs, or even just a couple of days. I appreciate all of you. If you've got any questions or comments, you can still place those below. And obviously, I do not have any experience as a Proverbs 31 woman, so I'm only reading and doing my best to interpret. So don't, take that into your evaluation as you listen today. So we'll start in verse 10. We've got quite a few verses to go through, so hopefully we can get through them relatively quickly. What I'll probably do is I'll read through to the end of the chapter, and then we'll come back and talk through each verse or section as applicable. So, an excellent woman who can find, she is far more precious than jewels. So stop before we get there. As we talked about yesterday, so this chapter we saw in verse 1 is written to Lemuel, which we're not really sure who that is, but is written to him by his mother. So this is written from a woman's perspective. So I think that's worth mentioning. So a woman to her son. Anyway, so an excellent wife who can find, she is far more precious than jewels. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and not harm all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax and works with willing hands. She's like the ships of the merchant. She brings food from afar. She rises while it is yet night and provides food for her household and portions for her maidens. She considers a field and buys it, and with the fruit of her hands she plants a vineyard. She dresses herself with strength and makes her arms strong. She perceives that merchandise is profitable. Her lamp does not go out at night. She puts her hands to the distaff, and her hands hold the spindle. She opens her hands to the poor and reaches out her hands to the needy. She's not afraid of snow for her household, for all of her household are clothed in scarlet. She makes bed clothing for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sits among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them and delivers sashes to the merchants. Strength and dignity are her clothing. She laughs at the time to come. She opens her mouth in wisdom and teaching, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. She looks well to the ways of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. Many women have done excellently, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her works praise her in the gates. Alright, so like I said, we've got quite a few verses to get through today. I will not be going too terribly deep into it, but we can talk about it a little bit. So the first verse just says, an excellent wife who can find, she is far more precious than jewels. So this Proverbs 31 woman is a rarity, and she is very valuable. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he will have no lack of gain. Verse 11. So because he is able to trust her, and he's not worried about what she's doing when he's not there, or when they're not together, whatever the case may be, he will have no lack of gain. So he profits, he's promoted, he benefits because of her actions and the fact that he can trust her. Verse 12, she does him good and not harm all the days of her life. Verse 13, she seeks wool and flax and works with willing hands. And I'm going to go ahead and read 14. She's like the ships of the merchant, she brings her food from afar. So 13 and 14 are translated to me in that she makes sure that her family is well clothed and well fed. So she seeks wool and flax. These are things that they would spin and clothe themselves with. And she's like the ships from the merchant. She brings her food from afar. So she's not, She's not cooking the same boring thing every night. She's working to make sure her house is taken care of and well fed. Verse 15, she rises while it is still night and provides food for her household and portions for her maidens. So we'll see here and several other times that she's not lazy. She's willing to work and, in this case, lose some sleep over making sure her family is provided for. Verse 16, she considers a field and buys it, and the fruit of her hands she plants a vineyard. So she's a businesswoman. She goes out, she finds a field, she buys it. And the assumption